I love a good story. Give me a reason to care, and I'll play a game for dozens of hours. More if my kid gets to bed on time. After finishing Minds Beneath Us, I had to ask myself a question. Do I like a story that reaffirms my already held beliefs? Or maybe it's because those beliefs were challenged, forcing me to re-examine my own moral compass and point of view. $20 goes a long way in gaming, if you know where to look. I regularly comb through digital storefronts like Steam, looking for my next great story. At least once a month I come across something I've never heard about before, and it catches my attention. And Minds Beneath Us was just that. Made by a Taiwanese developer named Barebones Studio, Minds Beneath Us takes us far into the future. It's a bleak future, one that feels somewhat possible with today's economic and political climate. The whole backbone of the economy rests on power generation. Most everything is run by AI in the cloud, and that requires vast amounts of energy and computing power. Somewhere along the line, scientists discovered that the human brain can be used to generate large amounts of energy, which can then be used to power these systems. I'm sure you can see where this is going, but this is not just some Matrix ripoff. All over the world, high-tech facilities were constructed to use people as energy. Citizens who meet the requirements can sign contracts for various amounts of time and get paid a good sum. Some contracts can last years. Most people just call these places farms. Enter Jason Dai, your main character. He is about to start his first day at Silencio, one of the older farms in the city. He's a quiet man, former military, and focused on finding a way to live a simple and quiet life with his girlfriend Fran. She's a brilliant coder and engineer, who also works at Silencio, although quite a bit higher up in the chain. Corporations rule pretty much everything. With the populace dependent on their energy production, even the government bends to their will. Vision Corporation is the biggest of them all, and just as powerful. They own the farm that Jason and Fran work at, and their power is immense. This all sets the stage for my favorite sci-fi dystopian story since Cyberpunk 2077. You will navigate the world on a 2D plane. As an adventure game, exploration and dialogue are key. I'm a big fan of point-and-click adventure games, and while Minds Beneath Us somewhat presents like one, there's a few differences that make this game a lot smoother to navigate than a typical adventure game. I played with a controller on my Steam Deck. You move Jason with the left stick. Being 2D, your movement is limited. With the right stick, you can use a small cursor to investigate items and people in your view. With movement not being tied to your cursor, everything feels smooth and easy to navigate. Initiating dialogue is simply a button press. You'll have a lot of dialogue options and quite a bit of choices that will affect events in the game. This is the main hook that kept me playing. Even with my love of story-heavy games, most have a hard time keeping me 100% engaged during those early portions of world-building that are often filled with padding. Minds Beneath Us doesn't have that problem. I was flying through dialogue, wanting to know what happens next. I really loved the art style. Despite your playing environment not being that big, the world feels huge. While a lot of that can be attributed to the great story and writing, the 2D characters against a 2.5D background really complements these efforts. It was a great choice for a small indie game and gets the job done well. I can't wrap up this video without talking about the amazing soundtrack. It enhances every moment of Minds Beneath Us. It wraps around you like a warm blanket in intimate moments. It lets you know in moments of tension that shit is about to get real. It sets the emotional tone for every scene. Luckily, it's available to stream. Minds Beneath Us was a surprise. It's rare that I discover a game I knew nothing about and love this much. I think all too often people associate epic stories with large AAA games. I mean, I used to. As the years go by, I find that indie games are doing it better. They take risks and tell the stories they want to tell, not the stories that the money men say will sell. This story will stick with me for a long time. It feels like a peek at what's possible at the hands of unchecked greed. While people in power play their games for influence and wealth, regular people scramble to scratch out a living. Can things get better? Maybe. Minds Beneath Us doesn't try to answer that question, but it allows you to examine it through these characters. There's black and white, but there's a whole lot of gray areas. Minds Beneath Us will cost you about $20 and is available on PC. I played it on my Steam Deck connected to my TV with no issue, and it took me about 18 hours to complete the story. Currently, it has about 1,500 reviews with a rating of overwhelmingly positive. If you're able to, I highly recommend you play this game. If you made it this far, it means you watched the entire video, and for that, I thank you. You are an absolute champion, a beacon of light amongst your friends and colleagues. If you like this video, do me a favor and click all of those silly icons below so our algorithmic overlords will show it to more people. Validation is a hell of a drug. Also, it helps this tired middle-aged father to continue and dream of a day where I don't have a soul-crushing day job. Take care of each other, gamers. I'll see you soon.